Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to be building a vertical planter for the garden. It's time that we get things in the earth so they can start growing. As you can see, we've got our raw material. This is all stuff that we've recuperated and found. So these long stretchers will be the feet, and then we'll have the supports for the actual planters themselves. And we've got some OSB panels which we'll be lining the whole thing with. First things first, I need to cut these to the right length, especially because we have some which are not all identical, so we'll deal with that as we go. So I'm hoping they'll reach 180 centimeters in height. This is going to be a bit of an odd one because one of these feet is, as you can see, not as nice as the others. It's been torn off, or part of it has been torn off. So we're just going to cut this roughly to size. And we'll do that for all of them. Again, this is the wood we had lying around, so we're just doing what we can with what we have. They're not all the same, but for our use and purpose, this will be absolutely fine. I'm currently cutting the horizontal supports, which are going to be between my feet, onto which the actual planks will be laid. So I've got leftovers here and here from the pieces I've just cut. I'm going to be using this nice long stretcher, which, as you can see, again, had been used previously, and cutting out my two last pieces from here. So yeah, it's as simple as measuring out and cutting, really. Okay, so we have our feet, we have our spacers. I think I want at least 30 centimeters of earth in my pots, so I'll be putting the first one of these horizontal spacers roughly here, I think. Yeah, that sounds good. There we go, that's one. The first support leg is now finished, and yeah, we can do the second one. Pretty easy. Are you going to do it, Leo? You do it? Why don't you sit on the table? Press, press, press. Yeah. Stop. Well done, Leo. Whoa. Lots of noise. Lots of noise. So the two stretchers are now done, and we can have the planks going in between, but for that we need to cut them to size. I've got these old planks off of a pallet. I think two of them come from a pallet and one is an extra one. And as you can see, three of them are roughly the right size. One is too long, so we need to cut that one to the same size. So I've actually got two nice big cement blocks here. These are actually leftover border pieces which I'd had along the row there, and I'm going to be using these as the base. Whoa, Leo, you're helping me.
Oh, I bet you
Can I have two more screws, please, Jan? Leo, what are you doing? What are you doing, Leo? You're making a hole? The next step is going to be making the planter bases with the OSB boards, and it's the OSB boards which are going to help keep this nice and square, nice and structurally strong and sound, because it's going to give it that squareness it needs. Currently it's holding, but only just. The screws are just big enough to keep everything in place, but no more. Well, it's starting to come together nicely. I've got the bottom planks starting to come in. I've got the first one here. And yeah, I'm very pleased with this OSB board, again, which I found in a dumpster. So overall, should be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the result. Okay. Bit more, bit more. Good boy. Good boy. So we've actually decided that it's too high, and I am going to be cutting the legs down a bit, so probably taking off a good 20 centimeters off there, 25 centimeters, because it's off the ground since it's on the big slabs anyway, so it's not as if it's going to be taking water and humidity from the earth. So yeah, we can cut all this. Although, I mean, it could be storage space if we wanted to, but we've got storage elsewhere. So it's the next day, and I have these remnants of big bags. It's basically what was used when they delivered the gravel here. I'm going to be lining the interior of these boxes with them. So I've got different sizes. I'm going to just try and see what I can do. Staple gun, and yeah, let's get going. So if you want to come closer and have a look. So we're finally done. A huge thanks to Nina who helped me in this one. I don't think I'd have been able to do it on my own. At least it wouldn't have been easy. So we've got the inside lining on both of them, and huge respect to anyone who does upholstery. Getting those corners is way trickier than I expected it to be. We did have some blowout where the staples went through the OSB board, so you can see it here. If you come down here, you can definitely see a lot of blowout here. All along here. So I'm going to grind those down. I could hammer them down, but I think it would be just easier with the grinder coming in and grind those off. And I'm also worried if I hammer them, I might hammer them back through, and I don't want that. So yeah, we'll do that. And I think this project is more or less ready for earth to come in, which is going to be another big step. So I finished building the two planters, and we have a bunch of seed that we want to sow. We've got coriander, which is cilantro if you're in the US. We've got basil, we've got parsley, and we've got mint. So we'll be planting all that here. I've already added in 3 big wheelbarrows full of earth. We have a 4th smaller one here because this earth comes from a compost heap. So it's nice, it's really nice stuff, but we are going to be adding in some of this inside it to hopefully give the plants as best a chance as possible. So the idea is that most of this earth is that nice earth I just showed you guys, but on the top here we're gonna have about 10 centimeters of slightly richer stuff, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I am very aware that this is mostly in the shade, especially the one down here. That I know is in the shade, but unfortunately we'll just have to roll with the punches. This is not a garden with a lot of sun, so we're going to be planting stuff down here that doesn't necessarily need as much light, and yeah, we'll see what we get. So if you're a gardener, if you know what you're doing, you'll probably be laughing at us at the foolish thought of actually growing stuff down here, but yeah, we'll give it a try, and if nothing works, we might try raspberries, strawberries next year. I don't know, whatever. So we know it's good stuff when we find nice juicy worms. Mmm, yummy. So we've got our first layer of soil here, which is about 2 centimeters thick. We'll be adding in our seeds, then adding another roughly 2 centimeters of soil on top to make sure that they've got what they need to be able to grow. So we'll be cutting it roughly into half here with 2 different seed types, and we're going to have our seeds along 2 ridges here. So we want the seeds to be about 10 centimeters apart like that. We're starting with the coriander, which is again cilantro if you're in the US. We need 3 to 4 seeds per hole, so 3 seeds.
Okay, perfect.
And 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now parsley. Mint is very specific because it is teeny tiny. That is about all you get. No, that is not about. That is absolutely all you get in the pack here. And you just want to sprinkle it around on top of your soil and cover it all up. So that's what I'll do right now. For the basil, we have some special seeds given to my daughter by my sister. Yeah, should be interesting. All we need to do now is water and wait. And while I will be using a watering can today, I hope to install very soon a small automatic drip by drip watering system, which uses like a big container down there and uses the power of the sun to be able to basically activate a small pump a few times a day. So it should, in theory, not require much on our end, except maybe taking out some weeds from time to time and enjoying whatever grows, if anything grows. So yeah, let's do that. It's been a couple of weeks now and the cherry blossoms have now come and gone. We have got cherries ripening as we speak and things have begun to grow. So it's time now to install the watering system so that this whole setup becomes more or less autonomous and we can let things just grow as nature intends them to. So here goes. I've got the sensor wire going down into my tank and I now have to rig up this suction hose. I am going to rig up something with a couple of bolts just taped around it, and that hopefully will give us enough weight. This is going to sit at the bottom, so yeah, we'll see. There we go. That's ugly, but put a bit more weight. Hopefully it's going to stick. Five minutes every 24 hours. Let's give it 15 every 24 hours. Oh, I have a leak. That's not good. It's a big leak too. I'm going to stop that for now. Let's try and correct that. Okay, so everything is now rigged up and we are watering. So I've got these out of the ground slightly so that you can see the effect here, but all of them seem to be working mostly. Some of them are having a bit more issues than others, like this one is not as happy as others are. But yeah, overall it is working. There are some improvements to be made, but it is working. And as you can see, in a very short amount of time, we've already got a good, decent amount of water coming into that soil. So that's on for 15 minutes, and I'm going to be monitoring the amount of water that is draining from my big can. So yeah, very excited to see how these babies are going to grow. Up to you now. We could end the video here and I could say that I am happy with the final build, and that would only be a half truth. Because while yes, I am happy with the construct, in reality, things aren't necessarily as positive as that. Now, I'm not an expert, but I think the main issue for us is that the whole thing was put underneath a big tree. Obviously, that does sound a bit obvious, I suppose, but we really were hoping that there would still be enough light for those plants to be able to take and grow. You see, when we're sitting underneath the tree, there is already a lot of sun pouring through. It's not a tree that provides a huge amount of shade, and we assumed that this would be sufficient. Clearly, we were wrong. So, while yes, I am happy with the actual construct, the end result is not at all what I was hoping for. And with that in mind, we are pretty disappointed. Now, I'm not going to be showing it in this video, but we do have one last final option that remains, and that is to move it. It weighs a lot, too much, I think. But one thing we're going to do is going to be cutting it in half and having the two planters separately in a place in the garden where there is a bit more light. I don't expect it to make a huge difference, but I'm hoping, maybe hoping that next year we might have a few extra plants. So in the meantime, thanks a ton for joining us today, guys. I really do hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've learned something, possibly not to plant under a tree, and I hope to see you very soon for some more crafting.